Congratulations to the Korean subscribers for meeting True the Vote, an organization that tirelessly works to uncover the truth behind the election fraud in the United States. I am grateful for the opportunity to greet you. I believe that as long as patriotic citizens in Korea and the United States are committed to a fair and transparent voting system, it is possible to heal our currently wounded electoral system and democracy. I am Min경욱. I have served as the anchor for the evening news at Korean Broadcasting System, Korea's biggest and largest broadcasting network. I have also been a spokesperson for President Park Geun-hye and a member of the National Assembly. After losing the 2020 general election due to election fraud, I transitioned to becoming a civic activist. As the standing representative of the National Movement for Election Integrity, I have been actively working for the past 4 years. I was not nominated by the People Power Party for the recent April 10th election due to my involvement in the election fraud movement. Therefore, I am currently working on establishing a new party called the Fair Election Party. I have organized numerous rallies domestically and visited the United States in September 2020. I held one-man protests in front of the White House, the Capitol, the Supreme Court, and the UN headquarters, exposing various instances of election fraud in the Korean general election. I also briefed NSC officials at the White House for over an hour about these instances. In February 2021, I attended the CPAC conference in Florida, where I received a standing ovation for my speech, urging conservatives from Korea and the US to monitor and combat election fraud globally to protect democracy.
I'm the son of a houseboy who worked for American soldiers. My father was 16 when the Korean War broke out. But let me share with you one thing from my district. There were 3 candidates in my district, including myself. And the ratio of ballot cast for in-district and out-of-district early voting for all 3 candidates were the same, 0.39. What are the odds? A famous South Korean statistician said that this is like throwing 1,000 coins in the air and all of them landing on the same side. Another eminent professor said that it was either God's work or it was fraud. During the Korean War, General Douglas MacArthur saved South Korea with Operation Chromite or the Incheon landing. Democracy was saved and I'm grateful. Operation Chromite's odds of success were 5,000 to 1 against. Our efforts to expose election fraud and to defend democracy might be more difficult, but we cannot stop now. The memorial for Operation Chromite is in the district I represent, Yeonsugu-ul Incheon. I don't think this is a coincidence. The seeds of freedom planted by General MacArthur 70 years ago in Incheon grew in my father's heart and mind. And that made me fight for freedom. The son of a humble American soldier's houseboy now shouts, let's go together in this fight to preserve freedom and democracy. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I have fought legal battles, organized numerous rallies and protests, and worked to prevent election fraud through citizen oversight during election periods. I have participated in producing 2 documentaries and 1 animation to help the public understand election fraud more easily, as part of a cultural movement. Thanks to these efforts, I am confident that Korea's recent presidential election saw the miraculous election of President Yoon Suk-yeol from the Conservative Party. It has been a difficult battle, but gradually more support is emerging in the fight to uncover election fraud. Former Prime Minister Hwang Kyo-an has joined the fight, and several members of the National Assembly, especially those running for the leadership of the People Power Party, are now aware of last election fraud allegations and are willing to investigate. This is very encouraging news. However, the majority of the public still does not believe that election fraud has occurred. Despite the statistical anomalies and evidences of physical election fraud revealed through recounts, many people dismiss the possibility of modern-day election fraud, believing it to be a thing of the past, ignoring the advanced digital crimes that have occurred. Fortunately, the U.S. presidential election is upcoming. President Trump is a victim of election fraud in the last election. My experience as a journalist through thoroughly covering the American media's reports on election fraud during that period supports this claim. President Trump has stated that if he re-elected, he will uncover the truth behind the election fraud in the last presidential election and hold those responsible accountable. Recently, J.D. Vance, nominated as Trump's running mate, is also well aware of election fraud. We pray for President Trump's victory in the U.S. presidential election. When the truth about the election fraud in the 2020 U.S. presidential election is revealed, the joyous news will travel across the Pacific to Korea. This happy news will remove the lingering doubts in our hearts, suppressed by a cartel that does not want election fraud to be exposed in our society, and will ultimately bring justice in Korea. Until that day, let us continue to fight together. Thank you very much.